Silence in the courtroom. This is Kangaroo Court.
Shh. Everybody be really, really quiet.
You guys suck at quiet. All right. Here we go.
Kangaroo Court.
Alrighty. Well,
at a reasonable hour for us old people. Night.
Indeed. This is well, welcome back everybody to Movie Night Special Edition. Hey, you know, it seems like I just saw you guys like a day ago. I don't know what's going on here.
I know, right?
Anyway.
It
was earlier this morning.
And that.
I don't even think I've been to bed since last night. No, I know I haven't because I've been living off of Red Bull.
Oh.
Thank you, NANA.
All right. Well, good. Hey, Nacho made it in. Cool. All righty. Now I can relax. Now I'm happy. All right.
What's up?
What's up? All right. Let us get housekeeping out of the way. As I am not with Spanner, if someone else can put if someone else wants to put the GoFundMe link. For David, right in the.
I'm not giving you a. Oh my goodness! Can you? I will give you a wrench.
You said I couldn't go on your channel, though.
I never said that.
You said that.
Hand out wrenches with ease. It takes a lot to.
I know, and she told me that showing up for her, it's only for the smart people, and I couldn't go.
That's not true.
No, you know,
not at all.
It took a long time to get a wrench.
So I can give you a wrench rather than me have to scroll forever.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Hi, everybody. All right, let me get the link. Everybody.
All I had to do was show up 3 or 4 times, and Psystrike gave me a wrench. I don't know what in the world's going on in Mel's world.
Did you tell everybody that when I first came across you in the public chat, I thought you were a girl? Because yeah, because it was a weird thing because and nothing to do with like what he was saying or anything like that. What it was is he just had first initial last name DeWitt.
I was A DeWitt.
Exactly. And now when I grew up, we had Three's Company. Three's Company, yeah. Joyce DeWitt. That was in my head. DeWitt. Hey, how you doing, young lady? I'm a dude. Oh, sorry. Anyway.
Oh, and with that voice
since we're still on housekeeping, RJ is in the chat. How come he's not here?
He was here. He's here.
No, RJ's here.
He's right here.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah,
oh,
cleverly disguised with the name RJ.
Yes.
I hide in plain sight.
Yes. All right.
You're still R.
All right. I would like to say to everybody watching, this whole doing the movie night thing all the time is really a damn inconvenience, and I'm just not going to do it anymore unless somebody goes to my GoFundMe that I've set up and throw some loot at it, and I'll put the link to that right in the chat there. There we go. So I would recommend everybody, because that's absolutely that's my GoFundMe right there. So go there and no more movie nights. You think anyone's deceived?
Well, you know, that looks like I may have already donated to someone.
Yeah, me too. Yes. Anyway,
I'm glad to have done so.
Absolutely.
English isn't my first language. So what you're saying is you need looters?
Yes. Yes, indeed. Anyway, yeah, I don't think anyone was deceived by my clever ruse.
I have wrenched RJ.
Alrighty.
So,
But,
as a wrench.
So,
yes, in all seriousness, please donate. And while we're in housekeeping, I'm fairly sure Pig has something to say. Go right ahead, Pig.
yes. So tonight we have an amazing video, an organized video, something where no one will be yelling or over talking. Because if you do, the wrath of God will come. Not the wrath of God, the wrath of Satan. And as I summon Satan, shall come the will.
Alrighty. Well,
Okay. Yeah.
Alrighty.
that's okay.
Apocalyptic.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's see what we've got on the menu for tonight. Is all right. Well, this is going to be a surprise for actually everybody involved. All three of the choices are they're
As
stupid.
the organizer of the show, I was not told what we would be watching. I hope it's not, a specific video about the Truman Show.
No,
Nobody gets to know exactly what movie night is until movie night starts.
really. And now I don't even know because I've got the three options, but you know how we pick them now. Anyway, we've got
Stage
some.
movie night starts in movie night or something like that.
Yes, we've got some silliness from Hovind the Elder, some silliness from Hovind the Younger, and from our good friend Kenny Ham. And
Yay.
how we
Yay.
decide on that.
We're spoiled for stupid.
Indeed.
Surf it.
Here we go. Let us see what the
May I spin the wheel?
you may issue the command.
Power of Satan, let's spin this wheel.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
It's gonna be red.
What's it gonna be?
Sai, I've noticed you worked on the
Not him. Not him. Hovind Senior. Hey, congratulations.
What a way to lose.
Y'all, we lose again. Every time we do this.
The guy who's responsible for me being here.
This is the third time we spin the wheel. I think it's always a lose-lose situation. We'll never win.
Pretty much. Well, have in any video we've ever played on Movie Night, would you consider any of them a win? I personally do not.
The ones where there's only 3 people at the end, and I join in, going, "What's going on?"
Although I do have fun memories of the time where we had a video of Hovind Senior agreeing with us and almost breaking the record on drinks.
We still had drink calls, and he was arguing our side.
And he was arguing
The
our
Earth
side.
is a sphere.
Lord.
Most disturbing
Now,
that
to
was.
start off the show, right before we start the video, with it being a special event, I say we get 1 drink for bullying, and also essentially 1 for frustrated atheist for what he had to go through a couple, about 10-20 minutes ago.
All right, so are you saying we start off with 2 basically complimentary drinks right now? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Party.
Sounds good.
Yay.
We are at 2.
Everyone drink.
Yeah. You know the rules. No cheating.
Drink
Already done.
everybody.
And if anyone's wondering, it is Samuel Adams Boston Lager tonight. Okay. Well,
I'm still water for me.
And if anyone's wondering, for me, it is Pepsi Wild Cherry.
I have my iced tea.
I'm still trying to drink up the canal water I bought last month.
I just opened my second bottle of Grolsch that I got because I opened the other one last night and I was supposed to save it until Christmas, so I'm going to be in trouble.
Anybody on Jilly Juice?
no, there will be no chili
I'm
juice.
drinking chili juice.
Good.
Oh, by the way, Guy, I have to point out Cajun Crustacean's comment. Wheel of bullshit. Turn. Tell us the video that we should burn.
Very nice indeed.
And I'm
All
going
right.
to put my own in there, which is a Monty Python reference.
Always a good choice.
Mel,
And the
say
Lord
something real
said,
quick.
Then lovest thou thy holy hand grenade of scienceness towards thy creationist foe, who, being stupid in my sight, shall snuff it.
Indeed. Okay.
Or shall be the count of the grenade.
Okay.
I did
Well.
see Mel tried to say something, but I didn't hear her.
Oh,
Water.
Yeah.
Yep, Mel appears to be muted.
Mel, you're muted.
Mel.
no.
No, she's
She's
not.
like, hold on, give me a second.
Nope. Yep.
I will hold the mic closer to my face. Is this better?
Ah, that's
Okay.
Okay, fine. That would work.
Stay straight.
There. I'm having Johnny Walker Red Light.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Oh
Would you
my.
like to know what I'm having, Systrake?
I don't know that I could continue without that knowledge.
Pop?
It's, as Kent Hovind would say, water.
Oh.
Tornado, aren't you above 21?
Water.
Yes, I am above 21.
Okay, look, before your questioning if Tornado goes any further, are you saying you want to see a drunk Tornado?
Yeah.
Think about that a little bit.
We've got enough trouble keeping them in check.
Give that a little bit of thought before you make such suggestions.
Hold on.
That's sacrilege.
Sorry.
I
Is
do
that
not
like
want
a
to
tornado in a
my
junkyard?
Yes,
You're aware
exactly.
of my show every Monday, Piggy Shit Show.
Wait a minute.
I thrive for shit shows.
That is a good question. Tornado, have you ever walked through a junkyard?
Well, I wish I could say I have, but
Oh,
no.
all right. So much for that test. So much for that test. I was going to ask if a DC-10 was created as Tornado went through the junkyard. All right.
That'd be science.
We've had at least one on with the show.
Yeah, we better get on with it.
Yeah, before you continue,
No,
I actually do
we're
have a
getting on
joke
with
on
it.
that. Yes, if Tails goes through in the X
Okay, we're
tornado,
getting
there
on
will
with
be
it.
a DC-10.
I see. All right, Pig, you still have the hand up.
Yes, let's get on with it.
Okay. And so
on with it!
And so we should. And wait, I sort of previewed this with. Yeah, this is the one where it's all stupid advertisements for the first 10 minutes. Here we go. And
Oh no.
we should probably issue the blanket apology. Everybody watching, we're sorry. Here it comes.
Oh, I'm not sorry. I want you all to suffer.
Easy getting on with the
Oh, my
stupidness.
audience, we are heartily
Very
sorry for
angry
having offended
19-year-old
thee.
with a pig. Very angry.
Hey, I have been up for over 35 hours.
My head's covering. Okay.
That's a choice that you made all on your own.
Indeed.
I know, and I love it.
All right. And let us just hop to the 10-minute mark because this is all just a stupid.
Yeah.
This
This is Kent Hovind.
Yeah,
Hold on,
and-
I'd like to point out real quick. Check out the memes area. We have a very special thing since, Dr. Kent Hovind was mentioned 2 times throughout this show. I just want to show something off. I just posted it within Radioactive Meme Land on your server.
Have a look in a bit.
Nothing there yet.
No, last one I see is from Spooky.
Yep.
Okay, my bad. I looked at the wrong one. It's posted right about now. It's uploaded. Should see it right now.
And this has been Pig making shit up. Ah, there we go.
Actually, that was me making shit up.
Yeah.
Oh, and, Sai,
Yeah.
can you
What we're
show
doing.
my Rudolph screen cap?
No.
The first one?
No.
No.
And then at the 10-minute mark, we get some delicious irony right on the screen.
I like how
Indeed.
it's going to go over the Adolf Hitler quote. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'd like to call out Godwin's Law.
Yeah.
Since Adolf Hitler, since Kent Hovind brought up Adolf Hitler when trying to debunk all this, he lost the argument.
And can I suggest that we rename that because God wins law? I take offense to that.
I understood. All right. Duly noted.
Snowflake.
Henceforth.
Very good.
Oh, and apparently Godwin's Law might actually be a logical fallacy.
Henceforth, it will be Pugwin's Law. All right. And let us commence. Everybody know the rules. Yellow drink, we stop. No talking during the movie. Hands up, you get called on, etc., etc. And here we go.
Let's do this thing.
Indeed.
If you let me control the textbooks, I will control the state, Adolf Hitler said.
And then he died.
Yeah.
Where's my?
Hovind, get on
This
with
is
it.
the best Hovind video ever.
Damn straight.
Dramatic pause from Hovind. All right, here we go. It's coming. Ooh.
The founders of evolution.
Charles Darwin's book, The Origin of Species, is often what they call simply The Origin of Species.
Here it comes.
This is not the whole title. They're kind of embarrassed by the whole title today because he was
Asked
a
and
racist.
answered.
Of course, in 1859, most people were racist. America still had slavery in 1859. But the whole title to his book is The Origin
Asked
of...
and answered.
Indeed.
Fun fact is that Darwin was an abolitionist.
Alrighty. And does that fit in? I think that fits under just plain wrong. He's going to elaborate. Okay. More stuff.
Oh, I have my hand out.
Oh, I'm sorry, RJ. Go ahead. I heard.
That was my drink.
Go ahead.
Yes, this is the Darwin racist thing and about slavery and all the rest, as I've gone into in great detail. Peter just mentioned, Darwin and Wallace and Huxley and all that crowd were anti-slavery people, knee-deep in it. And also the really heavy-duty racists tended to be anti-evolutionists like Louis Agassiz and the KKK and all the rest. So you are called out on really, really, really wrong in historical illiteracy, and shame on you, because this is my area.
So,
And can we also notice that all of Darwin's work was on Hitler's book burning list?
And so was Haeckel too, because he wasn't an anti-Semite.
Yep.
Alrighty. And moving on.
species by means of natural selection or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life. Darwin thought that there were different races of humans, different races of animals, and the strongest survived, and that was it. It was best if the weakest died off.
Drink.
Alrighty. And
Somebody had to do it.
let us see. Tornado has the hand up. What do you got?
Origin of species by natural selection. Yeah, we get that. And here's the thing, Kent Hovind. If you're going to claim that the strong races live on and the weaker races die off, that's a straw man of the whole thing. It's the species that is best suited for the environment at hand, either through adaptation or through already being there. It doesn't have to be a stronger or weaker species.
Really? Just ask the
And
slugs.
there's only one race of humans, and that is the human race.
Alrighty.
Wait, so you're telling me that, like, a grasshopper and a lion can coexist within the same environment?
No, you think?
All right. Let's see what Jared has to add.
Yeah.
You know, Ken, with everything that I've heard you espouse, of all the unchristian things to come out of your mouth, this has to be the most egregious.
Who would have thought?
Agony.
Who would have thought? All right. And Diana, what do you got?
Yeah, just to tack a little on to Tornado's thing. The species don't even have to be best suited for the conditions they are in. Just as long as they can get by, there can be others around who are much better at survival than they are. But if they can scratch a living out of the mud or whatever it is, just enough to keep the species going, keep the DNA flowing, that's fine. They don't even have to be the best at what they do. So this whole favored race is stick it, boy, stick it hard.
That is a good point. Look at bunnies. They know their food. They're aware of it. They know they are food. They're easily caught. They run in a circle. The wolf does not even have to move.
Mel has been putting her hand up for a minute now, and no one's acknowledging that.
I don't see your hand.
No.
I have my hand up. I've been waving and
We
waving.
don't do it.
No,
you need to put the hand up on the,
raise
on
the
the
virtual
participant.
hand like the rest
I
of
don't
us.
have a butt. Nobody.
You open up
Mel,
the participants list and then...
Hang on. Yeah, Mel, you are here in the meeting. Down at the bottom, you'll see an option for participants with the number 10 next to it. Click on that to open up the list, and at the bottom of that list, you will see an option to mute, unmute yourself, and raise lower hand. That's the
cool.
raising hand we're talking about.
That was
I have no idea. Nobody actually informed
No
me.
one, yeah,
So
no one said anything about that.
Mel, they probably did that just on purpose.
Yeah, it was.
Of course.
I've been sitting here doing the exact same thing. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know how to raise my hand. Okay, so
that's revenge, Mel, because since you joined Sunday Science, it's actually on Sunday. I've noticed. It's the weirdest thing ever.
All right.
So
Okay, Mel's got the hand up. Let's see what Mel has to add. Mel, what would you like to add to this?
I really want to get the number written down, the big dino number, and just prank call Kent Hovind like as much as
I may or may not be already working on that.
And
when you call option 3, when you call option 3, he will answer the phone.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Let's do that right now. Can I call him?
Wait. I think I can do that. I think I can do that through Hangouts.
Let's do it.
Let me
Why
call
not?
him right now.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Okay.
Do not do it off of your phone. That's how you dox yourself.
Okay.
Download voice.
Every
I can do no. You do *67.
No, that's.
You do
Yes,
*67.
you do have to remember that we are older than you, and that's the way that it was done in our age.
Yes, that's not how you do it now. Now you carry an entire new phone number, a virtual phone.
That is too much problem. That is just it's *67 erases and it shows up as an unlisted number. So you're gonna be fine. So it's 1-855 what? What's the number? I can't see.
244. And the last 4 numbers are 3466.
3466. All right, I'm gonna put this on.
And then you get option 3.
Dumb as fuck.
Are you Are you calling it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Let's see what happens. And
here we go.
Thank you for calling Creation, Science Evangelism, and Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. This is Ken Hovind. If you'd like to place an order or donate to help our ministry win souls to the Lord, press number 1. If you'd like to schedule a meeting or talk to the secretary, press 2. If you'd like to talk to me personally, press number 3. But it won't do any good to leave. At the tone, please say your name, then press pound.
Mel.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Here we go.
all right.
I don't know what to ask him. I'm gonna ask him his opinion on dinosaurs.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone keep your mics muted.
Everybody else.
You don't need
Nobody else can hear you. They can't hear you. You're in my headphones.
Yeah, we want the audio to be good for the people.
Yeah. Everybody silence.
Ken Hovind's secretary, can I help you?
Yes, I was really curious. I'm putting together a unit for students associated with creationism, and I would really like to know his position on how he thinks that the dinosaurs diverged into several different species.
Okay. I think that would be a question for the doc himself.
Oh, fantastic.
Sometimes I can answer for him.
Okay.
But sometimes I cannot.
Okay.
Hold on one moment.
Thank you.
For the doc himself.
Eating out of her hand.
Actually, get him in on this. That'd be hilarious.
For the doc himself.
Sai, bring up my picture that I posted in Meanland.
I'm amazed that somebody was at the desk. I mean, it's 6:30 p.m. over there now.
There's never a sleepless hour when it comes to creationism.
Yeah,
They live in the
sadly
museum.
so, I guess.
Except when you're a creationist.
All right. Let's listen.
Sai, get that photo up with them calling doctor. It's too great to not have up right now.
Sai, Brooks in the side chat.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for waiting, honey. He'll be right here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Wow.
Here we go.
Let me hit the kill switch because I'm going to be laughing my arse
Now,
off.
everyone, make sure you have your mic muted.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute Meat as well.
Nobody can hear you guys.
Still, we want to hear this perfectly. This is gonna be great. Here we go. I'm muting.
Yep, me too.
Ask him if it's Dr. Kenthoven.
It's going to be like 3 minutes.
The suspense is killing me.
Indeed.
Well, while we're waiting for him to reach, I will instantly shut up if he appears. I will, in a way, defend Kent Hovind in this sense. The racism stuff that he was telling earlier is not his invention. He did not make up this trope. It is a young Earth creationist trope that the parasitical Kent Hovind logged on. And this goes way back for decades. But they also forget the fact that early creationism was heavily racist. They were Southern racists. And that's another area that just gets swept under the rug in modern 21st century brain-dead creationism.
Yeah.
Just to give some perspective on things. Yeah. I studied this stuff for like decades.
It was just like they lose sight of the platform shift in the demographics north and south of the Mason-Dixon line.
To get my story together. So I think what I'm going to do is tell him that I'm developing a unit for a church school about creationism and dinosaurs, and I want to get his opinion on where he thinks that the dinosaurs diverged into different species and how that came to be.
Oh, Mel, buzzword.
Mel, tell him that
Everyone mute your
going
mics
with
now.
evolution, but don't mention that it's evolution.
Yeah, maybe just school and let them guess that it's religious. I don't know. All right, interesting. This is gonna be great.
Use the word Barrowman. That'll tease him.
No.
Wake him up or something?
This is it's better if we just don't know. We want answers from the doctor.
It's so nice to talk to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking my call on the weekend.
You're welcome. How can I help?
Yes, I wanted to call because I'm developing a unit for dinosaurs, and I was really curious about what you think about how it is that the species are so vastly different, like how they diverged. And I really would like to get your opinion on that because I'm a teacher, and I'd really like to kind of put that in this particular unit.
Okay. I would be a little careful of the word species. It doesn't really have a good definition. Dog and a wolf are different. I would use variety maybe, or kind. The Bible says they'll bring forth after their kind. That's all that's ever happened. There are probably only about 30 different varieties of dinosaurs.
Okay.
But there's about 800 different names for them. And here's why. If you spend hours and months digging up a dinosaur, find out you know the name of who discovered the 7th Triceratops. No, nobody cares. They want who found the first one.
Okay.
So, the only way to be famous in that field is to find a new one. So, there's a real strong tendency in paleontology. If you find, so have to make it a new one somehow.
I have a question for you. One of my students came up to me and asked me one time about how scientists are using chicken bones in order to, in claiming that that's a dinosaur fossil, but it's really just chicken bones. And I found that to be quite striking. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they are determined to believe that the dinosaurs turned into birds. So in their twisted thinking, a chicken is a dinosaur. I had a guy tell me once, he commented on my YouTube channel, I had dinosaurs in my back porch yesterday, hummingbirds at the hummingbird feeder. There's several levels of stupid involved in a comment like that. I'm not sure. If you want to give hummingbirds a dinosaur, I guess I can't help it.
Okay. Well, I've heard that a lot of people consider turkeys, descendants of dinosaurs. What do you think about that? Do you think it's possible that, they changed like that, or where do you think like the hummingbirds and the turkeys actually came from?
I think God created the animals to bring forth after their kind, and that's all we've ever observed. Every farmer in the history of the world has counted on evolution not happening. He breeds cows, he expects to get cows. There are simply no examples in observable science of any animal producing a different kind of animal than itself. Dogs produce dogs, cats produce cats, end of story. So anything like that, like turkeys and dinosaurs being related, can only take place in imitation. You have to imagine that it happened, because it's certainly not observable science. Make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I have a couple. I'm sorry.
If we find similarities between turkeys and dinosaurs, that doesn't prove a common ancestor. It could just as easily prove a common creator. The same designer made them.
Okay.
There are a lot of similarities. The Honda Prelude and the Honda Accord have thousands of similarities. Thousands of nuts and bolts will interchange.
Okay.
What does that prove?
You are absolutely right. There are door handles for every door imaginable.
I would guess there's only 30 different kinds of dinosaurs. Use the word kinds loosely. There are about 800 different names. For instance, if you look up the Brachiosaur, there's about 20 long-necked dinosaurs. There's Apatosaur, Brachiosaur, Cetosaur, Mamenchosaur, Seismosaur. They're trying so hard to find a little bump on a bone that's different, so they can be famous and say, I'm the first one to find the Supersaurus or the...
I have another question for you, because this is kind of part of it too, because I'm trying to work this in. What about the Cambrian explosion? Because that's like a really, that's really big in the scientific community, where they've like found all these fossils that are like right around the same time, and so they call that like the Cambrian explosion. So I'm trying to understand that a bit better. What do you think about that?
Can we buy a Honda Prelude egg?
There's no such thing as a geologic column. This is the problem. The whole thing is also imagination. There are lots of layers of rock in the earth. I mean, you can see them in Grand Canyon. There's no question. However, they're all from the same flood in the days of Noah. There's no such thing as a Cambrian period. So I agree. It seems to be when they dig down in the fossils and find all of a sudden all the animals are there at the same time. Wow. Yeah, that's because of Noah's flood.
But they were sea creatures, though. That's where I'm kind of confused. A lot of these were sea creatures, so they should have survived the flood, don't you think?
The Bible says the fountains of the deep were broken open, and then the windows of heaven are open. So most of the flood water came from inside the earth. If you dump a gallon of boiling water into your aquarium, all the fish are going to die. But it's going to quickly cool off after that. So if hot water was dumped into the ocean from down beneath, it would kill things within 100 miles.
This is rainwater, so that shouldn't be that hot, don't you think?
No, the Bible says the fountains of the deep were broken open. So most of the flood water came from inside the earth. Psalm 24, Psalm 33, and Psalm 136. All three talk about the earth having water in the crust of the earth. And that's where the flood water came from.
I've muted what I'm saying to him. So if you guys want to have me ask him any questions, let me know.
So, no such thing as a
cow-mammal transition.
I point out to him, I say, guys, fossils don't count at all. You can't prove any bones you find in the dirt had any children.
Can you ask him if fossils are just a snapshot of populations over time?
To do something no animal today can do, which is produce something other than its kind.
Ask him if a fossil is just a...
Cows, dogs produce dogs. There are no exceptions.
Ask him if he thinks that dogs would produce anything but dogs, or that caniforms according to evolution. Ask him that.
Okay. I have a question. So what do you think fossils are in general? Are they like snapshots of what you think a population is at a particular time, or how old do you think they are? I mean, the ones that they find that, they found like the Cambrian, which you say is with the flood and all of that, where all those sea creatures died. What do you think what fossils are actually?
How many animals died today in the United States, do you think?
Oh, I'm not certain. How many do you think?
Hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
Hundreds of thousands, okay. How many are going to fossilize?
Well, I guess it depends on where they end up, because they do get like subjected to the elements. So if it was, and there are different types of fossils, right?
In America, they get eaten.
So there are so many different types of fossils. So I would think like the ocean fossils would probably be preserved for a little bit longer than maybe one that's just kind of subjected to the normal elements. What do you think?
Well, if an animal dies today, its remains get scattered all over the woods by the coyotes and the buzzards and the ants and the vultures and
rednecks.
Fossils of an animal with the skeleton still fully articulated, which is exactly what they find by the billions. Billions and billions of animals have been found fossilized. The Karoo Formation, just that one formation, has 800 million vertebrate animals.
I thought that was mostly just like the sea creatures that they tend to find. They find lots and lots of fossils of sea creatures, but not as many with the land animals. That's my understanding, but I could be wrong.
I think you're probably correct, because the sea creatures near the hot water vents, as the oceans as the crust of the earth broke open,
He said it was
wrong. From the thermal shock, or from the silt. If you had a worldwide flood like Noah's day, just the silt in the water would flood the gills of lots of animals that have to breathe. They have to breathe oxygen out of the water, and when the water gets muddy, they can't do that.
So I had sent, have you seen the show Cosmos? Because I've seen that before, and there was one episode where Neil deGrasse Tyson was talking about the Great Dying, this massive extinction where lots of animals died at the same time. What do you think about that? That was like one of those periods that you had mentioned that you said that, like the Cambrian wasn't like a real thing. What do you think about that, where they have this evidence, they think it might have been a bacterial thing? Maybe it was a silt thing. I'm just really curious about your thoughts on that.
Well, I think what they found was a graveyard from Noah's flood. That flood would have killed animals worldwide. Today the earth is 70% underwater. The Bible teaches in Isaiah 45 that God formed the earth to be inhabited. Today, only 3% of it is habitable. The rest is underwater, or ice caps, or deserts. So something radically changed the world. I think that was Noah's flood.
Okay.
To go from mostly habitable to mostly uninhabitable, as it is today.
What do you think? Okay, so I'm really curious. Since, we have so many issues, like climate change and all that, what do you think is going on with that? Because I do want to develop a unit later on about climate change and global warming and that sort of thing. So what do you think? Are we seeing something like we've seen before, like with the flood? What do you think about that?
Well, the average temperature worldwide since I think about 1870 or whenever they started keeping records is 56 degrees. It hasn't changed at all. There is no climate change. That's an excuse to get more government control of, regulation, more small control, etc. More government intervention into private lives is what it is. It's just an excuse, a power grab. So there is no climate change.
I think that's a really interesting position. I find, I would agree with you on that, but it seems like, especially with Trump rolling back all the EPA protections and that sort of thing, that's kind of going against that. Or are you happy that that's going on? I mean, because the government, if it was like a thing, then I would think the government would be more about controlling things that they say are associated with climate change. I'm really curious now. That's an interesting perspective.
Well, the less government control, the better. Have you ever seen an apartment complex that the government owned where they rented it out?
Is that like Section 8? Like Section 8 housing?
How does it look? You want to live there?
Well, I mean, I suppose there's a lot of issues associated with the fact that, you know, they don't take care of people in certain areas so well. Yeah, so I agree with you there. They're just not doing a good job with that.
Chat wants to know how the animals
People
get from Australia.
take care of their own stuff better than stuff that they rent or don't own. If you've ever owned a house and rented it out, you know what I'm talking about. The owner, you know, I drive my cars carefully because I have to fix them when they break. But if you rent a car, you say, oh, it's just a rental car, just, you know, driving like a maniac. Or if you loan your car to somebody else, they would be less likely to care about it as much as you do. I think the solution to pollution is for the government to get out of the business of private property ownership. That's the solution. Take care of my property.
Okay.
I'm not gonna pollute it.
So what about like Habitat for Humanity, where those people are actually being given low cost housing, but they're over time, you know, it's part of home ownership. How do you feel about that organization?
Well, if you look at our Constitution of this country, the government has no business being involved in anything except defending us from outside invaders. The very, very limited government would be the constitutional government. The government has no business being involved in any of those Habitat for Humanity, housing, and all that kind of stuff. That was the job that the church did or the local people did. Right now, there's no incentive to work and become a diligent worker and to study in school because it's socialism, and it just doesn't work.
But Habitat for Humanity is not controlled by the government. That's actually a charitable organization.
It's also a Christian organization.
And it's a Christian organization run by Jimmy Carter. He's a big advocate for that, and he's a Christian man.
Hey, Mel.
Right. I don't know enough about it to give an answer on that one. But
You should really check it out. They do great work. I've worked with the local master gardeners in the area to go and they could work with the churches to go and get low-cost housing for people to actually own their homes.
Hey,
And
Mel.
so they'll go and donate. They'll go and get plants, and it's really nice.
I've got a question for Kent.
I'm in favor of mission work, and I've helped my neighbors all my life. The private property ownership.
Ask him about ring species in Australia and the fact that when certain animals that are breeding, they're sterile.
In my lake.
Okay.
But if it was somebody else's, less of an incentive, I guess, to
I didn't hear your question. You're going to have to tell me again.
Type it in the chat, maybe.
Ask him what he thinks about species interbreeding and the resulting offspring being infertile, or
Okay,
Australia.
I have one more question for you, and I don't want to keep you. This has been an inherently interesting conversation. Is it okay if I like call you in the future when I'm developing more units?
No, well, anytime.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so I have one more question, and then I'll let you get back to your Saturday. I really appreciate your time, sir. I want to know, what are your thoughts on when different, you know, for instance, when certain species interbreed and their offspring are sterile?
Well, God says they'll bring forth after their kind, and if we can crossbreed a horse and a mule and get an animal that is now sterile, that's an indication we're getting to the outer edge of what is the kind, I think. I'm not sure exactly where the border is on what is the original kind. Come in, have a smoke.
Oh, and ask.
I got one. No, I got one. Can he define kind without using the word kind?
Horse and a mule can or you can crossbreed and get a mule. A horse and a donkey can get a mule. Okay, it still looks similar to a horse. It's four-wheel drive, you know, a hoofed animal, leather upholstery. So you can't crossbreed a horse and a pine tree.
They're both eukaryotes.
Quiet.
Tornado, shush.
tampering with the edges of what are the. It could be now that the horse and the mule and the zebra all came from the common ancestor, and they diversified. The diversity happens.
That ancestor came from another, and another, and another.
Sorry to hear the microphone.
After a couple of years, all the dogs running around have fur, husky, or wool. Well, Alaska didn't create that on the dog. It selected that. They already had hair. They already had long hair, some of them. So nature, the cold weather, would select certain ones to survive and certain ones would not make it. It didn't create anything. Natural selection certainly works, but it's not a creative process. It's never going to give the dog an indoor, central heating unit. Most of them are flies. All we observe are variations within the same kind.
We have a question in the comment section, Mel. By Jack.
Where the ground breaks open and the hot water comes out and
okay.
thermal shock.
No.
Okay. So it's so I have just one more question. So when you're defining the word kind, and I'm trying to clarify. So your position in the way that it worked with the Noah's Ark is that there were about 8,000 kinds of animals, and then they were subjected to natural selection, and that's how they kind of were different. They became different over time that way.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Many of the varieties we see of domesticated kinds, like dogs, nearly all of them would not survive in nature. They were artificially selected rather than natural selection. Chihuahua would never be developed in a pack of wolves.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Can you define kind?
Well, I really appreciate your time, sir. I'll give you a call.
Can you define kind without using the word kind?
Okay, well, have a great Saturday night, and thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been very educational.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You had him hook, line, and sinker.
That was beautiful.
You forget, I used to teach heavy creationists, and so most of the time they just want to talk. So you're like, what do you think about that? You just say that over and over again. Well okay.
But Mel, hang on.
How do you find kind without using the term kind?
Yeah, Mel, that's what I was trying to get you to ask him is, can he explain what a kind is without repeating the word kind?
We should make this a series.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all.
Mel,
you could rate
Mel Prost Kent Hovind.
All right.
Now, I had a question, but I didn't want to throw it at you. Would he have been aware that in Holland they've crossbred a tapeworm with a porcupine, and we now have free barbed wire? I wonder if you heard of that.
Well, see, that would have given me away as making fun.
That's why I didn't say it. But that took a lot to keep in.
I would say. All right, that was. And
I really think that I'm going to call him and ask him if I can buy a Honda Prelude egg. To have it hatched by a Honda Accord and see what happens.
All right.
It has 4-wheel drive, just like horses.
And how can we tell from the egg whether or not it has leather upholstery and a 4-wheel drive? I mean, is that in the color of the egg? The Honda eggs? And how do we distinguish Honda eggs from Chevrolet eggs?
Hey,
So many questions.
I wish to point out Michael W. Robles' comment. You have all just witnessed the blight miracle of biblical proportions. A talking ass.
A talking ass.
And this is why I wanted to really show the call from when Mel did her thing. I wanted to show this Rudolph picture of, sir, I'm picking up heavy amounts of craniorectal inversion up ahead.
Indeed.
If I could insert some science elements here in commenting upon old Kent.
Oh, go right ahead.
Yeah, the first order of business is when you asked him about dinosaurs, and he could rattle off a few names of the kind of popular ones that you would find in the press. But the fact that he was talking about 30 kinds of dinosaurs means that functionally he's thinking of a dinosaur as a family of dinosaurs, so that all sauropods would all be in one big lump and so forth and so on. There's been very little baraminology work on this, so there's not much for him to copy. Plus, most of what he reads tends to be decades old, so he's really far back on that. Regarding Tornado's questions about kinds and ring species and the like, his view of speciation is just a catch-all. A kind is self-evident. And the reference to 88,000 kinds, that's the ones that Kent has been bandying about. He apparently hasn't studied closely the Ark encounter because they only can find room for 1,500 kinds on the Ark. So they have a way smaller list, which it's very difficult to pin down for them to put it up to where you can actually study the damn thing. It was nice to hear him say water again. That fountains of the deep bit that he talks about. But the area where you mentioned the great dying, I was again noticing what bells didn't go off in his brain. The moment you say that, I'm going Permian mass extinction, Siberian traps, all of the details that pop up with real science. But all he can do is just repeat the narratives that he has in his tropes. He can't get around to any discussions. And I suppose you could have really blown him away if you, in the Cambrian explosion, if you started to talk about Hycoella and basal chelicerates. You know,
probably. I mean, my knowledge of the fossils is not that intense. I mostly know about the different extinction events. I know about the things that were associated with the Cambrian explosion, the Great Dying, and things like that. I know about KT impact. So it's a broad knowledge because I'm not like a heavy scholar with evolution, you know, an evolutionist. Although
I got a whole section on mass extinctions in tip 1.2 on that, where I go into 3 of the 5 mass extinctions correlate with volcanic plume breaches. So the Triassic one, and definitely the Permian, and also the Cretaceous. Although you have the big Chicxulub asteroid splat at the end of it, the system was being completely stressed by the Deccan traps over in India, and this was interfering with the ocean chemistry and that way before the asteroid came along. But all of that, Kent folds all of that into this one big thing 4,500 years ago that the Egyptians were not noticing while they were building the pyramids.
It's funny. I just, you know, because having had taught people that think like Kent Hovind do, it's just the way you got to go about it, the way that I do it. I sit there like, well, what do you think that is? Okay, all right. Yeah. And then I throw in questions that get them thinking. I didn't do that this time because I was just laughing.
Well, you're not going to get a hell of a lot of thought from him. All you got was just the repeat.
Round out my Saturday night trolling Kent Hovind and see how far I could get. Apparently, I can call him back too. He's all right. That was so
I want to troll him too. And I'm gonna ask him. Oh, by the way, Kent, just what do you think about Holland being able to crossbreed porcupines and tapeworms to get barbed wire?
It's not that much sillier.
Keep him on the lawn.
It's not that much sillier than the Carl Boss stuff that he trots out, the Plexitrax and all of that. He's very gullible when it comes to lower echelon bottom feeder creationism. We didn't get quite there. And then that bit about Habitat for Humanity and the social issues, you have to remember Kent Hovind is so extreme that John Birch Society would seem liberal to him. He's hyper conservative, dominionist. Let's bring back all the godly stuff that we had in the 18th century. That's his worldview.
Another good question that I I'm sorry I forgot, but there's this thing from Ian Juby where we know that dinosaurs laid their eggs in circles, and then they found dinosaur eggs 2 by 2 in a row. And Ian Juby claimed that they were laid on the run because they were laid just when the flood was happening. So they didn't have time to lay them in a circle, and they laid them on the run.
Yeah, I'm sure Paul Sereno is going to be really paying attention to that one.
All right.
Hovind's hyperconservatism really came to the fore, if you remember, Mel, when you were talking to him about Habitat for Humanity. And there was the bit there, he came on with people who rent their residences tend to not take care of them the way somebody who owns a residence does. That was very, very, very classist, if not racist of him. Yes. Because by that logic, anyone who rents a Manhattan penthouse should be trashing the place, because allegedly all the people in my building are trashing their places because they don't own them. I live in Section 8 housing, by the way. So we've got people taking good care of their places here, and I just want to reach through the screen and choke him.
Yeah, I wonder how many public housing places
it's even worse. So what he's saying is that the people that are helping him with his dinosaur Adventureland are trashing it.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it. It's crazy. And this belies all that crap that he's spewing about the title of Darwin's book, about the struggle for existence of the favored races. And it's, oh, Darwin was so racist. Darwin was so racist. Bullshit, Kent. Listen to yourself, arsewipe.
Indeed. All right. Well, yeah, you know, just for
the to have a link to that so that I can put that up in next week's Evolution Hours. I'll probably be mentioning some of this because this was a golden moment in, hey, let's have a chat with Mr. Hovind.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a feeling there are going to be many response videos to that.
I'm going to have to pull some of that up.
Hang on, guys. We may or may not have someone working on a way to record both ends of the phone call directly, just to call them in.
Oh well, we could actually, if we call through, if we call through Hangouts from here, I can pipe the audio both sides. The only danger to that is we would all have to be muted the entire time.
Yeah.
That's
calling from my phone was pretty easy because you dial *67 makes it an unlisted number.
You'd think that would have been their first clue that something was up.
Yeah.
But apparently not. But anyway, I would recommend, for the safety of our esteemed panelists, that for that entire conversation, everything we heard, we just award one drink for the entire thing, just for your safety, because because I kind of like you folks. I don't want any of you to die.
Oh no, that with all that he said, that is not one drink, that is one chug.
Yeah, yes,
that's an entire distillery.
Yeah, alrighty.
Nice drink.
Yeah, I got a whole bottle of Red Label. I'm not gonna drink all this tonight. There's no way I could. On the floor, but I certainly want to after that.
Really?
I'm gonna be a Scotch snob over here and say, Mel, you're drinking blended.
Now, are you just gonna are you just gonna drink it, or do you feel the need to like rinse out your ears after listening to that, just kind of sterilize them?
Maybe that too. Maybe. So it's all right. Yeah, we're just.
Push you.
All right. Well, this is
good Lord.
It's going to be kind of anticlimactic to get back to the video.
I don't know, kids.
Sorry?
Yeah, Tornado, what's up?
Brooke has been making repeated requests to get into the Hangout.
Okay. All right, send the link then.
Oh, somebody's saying, was it illegally recorded for me to do that? Was that illegal?
What state are you in, Mel?
Well, let me put it in the side chat.
Get into Hangouts.
And besides, you didn't record anything. You were having a conversation and we overheard you.
Yeah, you did overheard me.
I think I think you are in a single consent state, if I remember correctly.
Indeed, but yeah, I wouldn't be overly concerned.
No, probably not.
It's
Okay.
you were having a conversation. You had no
I
idea.
I had it on speakerphone.
You had no idea we were listening. Anyway,
Make a phone call. I just have to be loud about it.
we just don't give you any privacy, do we, Mel? You were trying to have a private conversation with the doctor.
Trying to find the one thing that Look Pig sent me.
Sai, since we're on illegal stuff, is Mel now going to get a copyright strike because you played the intro on her channel?
It's not technically a copyright strike. It's those folks trying to monetize other people's channels. So you
may want to warn Mel about this and how to get rid of
I'm
them.
sending Brooke the link.
And so just so you know, Mel, I did just look it up, and you do not have to worry about requiring two-party consent to a recording.
Yay! Woo,
Yay.
woo. So this can be a new series, can it?
Indeed. Besides, people do that all the time.
Well, for those who are curious, the 12 states of the Union who do actually require both parties to consent are California, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Washington.
Oh, all right. So we had both ends safe then.
So
there can be no
Jared,
argument. Is that right, Jared?
That is correct.
That is correct. Because it does get a little fuzzy if the state you're calling has two-party consent. But this is great.
By the way, I sent the link to Brooke in the Discord.
Okay.
Jared, how does that work? I'm from Holland, and here it's legal.
Legal to do what?
To record a phone call and to air it.
Single party consent. You're fine.
Yeah. So if I were to call, let's say, Florida, I couldn't get into trouble when I post that on YouTube?
That is the gray area. No, that is the gray area. Florida is one of the 12 states that do require both parties to consent.
He's in Alabama, though.
Yes, he's in Alabama, so no matter what, Mel is fine.
Yeah. Florida's loss is Florida's gain is Alabama's loss.
Hey, Sai, on with the stupid.
Yeah, not a bad idea. All right.
Now by holy hand grenade of moving on towards Sci-Fi.
We're tired of seeing this poor pretend Darwin on the screen.
Yeah, we still have
so much.
Yeah, we still have Mel. You still have the hand up. You have something to add before we continue?
No. That was it. So how do I take the hand off?
Same way you raise it. It should say lower.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool.
Alrighty. On that note, let us continue with the foolishness. And I'm not telling this has been great so far. Here we go. More stuff.
Of course, motivated Adolf Hitler to speed up the process. Let's figure out who's the weakest and eliminate him, and we can speed up the evolution of mankind. So Darwin.
All right.
Drink.
All right. I think Brooke had the hand up there. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know how much, because I've heard some people say asked and answered, and I kind of came in late on this. But for this here, what he's arguing is Hitler was doing this because he believed that God made the white race superior and is a very devout creationist. He was. He hated evolution. I mean, he had Darwin's books burned. He did not agree with it. And he said, if you said anything like, basically, you think you're a monkey, you're basically a traitor to mankind and you need to be eliminated. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't exactly sound like, like what Darwin talked about, because Darwin knew mankind, humans, Homo sapiens, were a single species. And thus, there were no races, unless if he wants to go with the races, which he's already brought up. That would be, where do the races of cabbages and birds and other things fall into the human races? I'm lost on that connection.
Well, I don't know. Can you be calling races of cabbage cultivars, or is that a different
subspecies? Would be the term that would be the more often used.
So, yeah, that's pretty much what I have is
avatars, which are subsets beyond that.
Yeah, but yeah, basically Kent Hovind's an idiot lying about history, and yes, I have this video up on the chopping block for my channel. I already tortured myself once. Why not some more?
All right.
Brooke, look in your private messages. I just sent you 2 pictures.
All right. Let's see. Tornado, you had something to add on this. What do you got?
Yes, I was going to say, again, there is only one race, the human race. Kent Hovind, you need to shut your mouth.
Well,
you mean the rat race doesn't count?
Tornado, I do need to, like I said, make a correction on that.
500.
The way it's used in the book, if he's going with it, is, you know, if he's trying to argue what the book says, it would be like different species were more or less considered like different races. So, in that aspect.
Yeah, and Kent is misinterpreting it intentionally. I'm guessing intentionally to perhaps bolster his argument. Perhaps.
It doesn't matter. It's a straw man.
I will say, yes, he is purposely intentionally misrepresented, because I know for a fact Arn Ra and countless others, and I think I remember RJ saying something about this, and it's debate. I might be wrong. I might be remembering a different one that he had, or a different Hovind video I saw, but made the correction of what that title meant and what it means.
Oh, he's been corrected a lot of times, and the arguments never change.
He's purposely being dishonest on that.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Kent, he is mercilessly copying an argument that is an old traditional creationist one. Jerry Bergman, all these ones make the same kind of a thing. To show you, by the way, let's get to what Darwin actually thought. In I think it was The Descent of Man, he actually made some comments that one thing that worried him as an evolutionist was war, because war tends to arbitrarily kill off people not based on any reasonable criterion. And World War I, which he didn't live to see, did that on steroids.
Yeah.
Indeed. And, well, RJ, while you got the mic, you had the hand up. Did you have something to add to the doctors?
Was essentially the point.
Okay.
I will say, though, that Kent is not being original here. Remember, he's a parasite. He only copies other people's arguments. And this trope that he repeats about the races of man in the title, it's been circulating in the creationist literature. It's not quite so common in the intelligent design bunch, but definitely in the creationist literature for years.
Guys, we better be careful. There may be a pipeline to Alabama. In the side chat, we have Kent Hovind CPA.
Yeah, but that's not Kent Hovind. If anyone is against Kent Hovind, it's Kent Hovind CPA.
Yeah, I was going to say.
lady.
Kent doesn't listen to his CPA, so we don't have to worry about it.
Okay,
lady.
Yes, dear.
I don't know if you know this, but he got in trouble for tax fraud, so I don't know if his CPA is the most reliable source.
Well,
just point that out.
If viewers shouldn't forget the fact that although we tend to roast flat earthers in the world, flat earthers have very little effect on things. Kent Hovind is relied on as a scientific authority by people who have served in government.
Yes, that's the problem.
That is frightening, is what that is.
Yes.
Very.
I do want to remind everybody that this is still a fundraiser for Booleanator.
Indeed. And why don't we throw that link up there again?
Money.
Let's put that here. We go. Let me get that link.
And if you're enjoying this, please throw a couple bucks towards
dig deep into your pockets.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
40, 50, you know, what the hell.
Dig deep, but if you start playing pool, that's
good that we're taking the high road here. Okay. All right, the link is posted. Please be generous. It is a worthy cause indeed. And I see Tornado has a hand up. What have you to add?
Sorry, Oh, that was probably my original drink. Sorry, my
okay.
bad.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Just didn't want to miss anybody. All right. On that note, let us move on. More stupid. Here it comes.
It was a racist, but I think you could say most people were during that time frame.
When you see the term favored races, that tells you a lot about the guy who's writing the book and what his ideology is.
Asked and
He believes that some races are more favorable
Asked and answered,
than
you bet.
others. He thinks that some races are further evolved than others.
We
have grown as a species because of the tools.
We already touched the further evolved point about how that's not how evolution works.
And that's not even what Darwin was talking about.
Yeah, because we know it's not a ladder. We know that's not anywhere close to what it is. You, Anderson, are a lying. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that because I don't want Mel to get this video flagged for my language.
Indeed. All right. And Peter, what have you to add?
So this is a Kent Hovind video that was made by the young silly boy, Matt Powell. So it isn't a Kent Hovind video, and the way you can tell this is because Stephen Anderson is in it, and Stephen Anderson thinks we should kill Kent Hovind. Does Kent Hovind really think that it's wise to put Stephen Anderson on his channel, the guy who actually wants to stone him for adultery?
Yeah.
Consistency is not one of the major features.
Perhaps he has not considered that.
You gotta love fighting.
That's the fun of videos like this. I mean, shouldn't we get a corral and throw Hovind and Anderson in there and see what happens?
That'd be fun to watch.
That would be an amazing video.
How much are we charging for the viewership?
No, we shouldn't charge anyone.
Fight.
Everyone needs to see this. This should be free.
No, I meant for tickets. Like, and then we can broadcast it later.
No, it should be for free. We should do the same thing Hovind does. Everyone can copy it. Watch the stoning of Hovind live.
Public service.
All right, let us. We're gonna run short on time. We better get moving on here. All right.
It's already Tuesday.
Yes, and here we go.
And each generation, the tools get more advanced. It's how it's been, and it's how it always will be.
Spontaneous generation must be true, not because it had been proven in the laboratory, but because otherwise it would be necessary to believe in a creator.
I want to know how badly quote mined that is.
Yeah, all right. Let us. Okay, I heard Brooke call that. Brooke, go ahead.
Oh, okay. More or less, yeah, that's a quote line. I've looked it up before. I'm pretty sure that's a quote line. Actually, I'm not even, or is that one of the ones that are actually real quotes that got misattributed? I can't remember. Yeah, there's some of them that are used by creationists. But also, spontaneous generation does not require, if that's not the case, it would require a creator. That's not even close. We know spontaneous generation doesn't happen, and we've proven that. Abiogenesis is not spontaneous creation, as the creationists like to try and point it out to be.
Quite true.
There's so much wrong with that I'm gonna end it there, because if I can go on a freaking almost hour long.
Should we push that into the not even wrong category?
Yeah, I think that's not even wrong.
All right, I'm good with that. All right, let us see. RJ, what have you to add to this?
The Haeckel is one of those ones they just go after a lot. He was, just to put it into perspective, he was a flaming atheist. There's no doubt about that. He once described God as a gaseous vertebrate, and he had a rather sharp tongue. But he isn't really the co-founder of evolution. No, Darwin and Wallace are the co-founders. Haeckel was one of the early German proponents of evolution. But as I pointed out, he was not liked by the Nazis precisely because he wasn't an anti-Semite. He was a nationalist. He died in 1919, I think, right after the war, World War I. But he was not on the side of that kind of racism aspect. The reason why the quote's being put up is that origins or bust trope. That the idea that all you've got to do, you got to have a natural origin for life, or else you can't have evolution. No, it would be nice to have a natural origin of life, but we don't need it. Even if bacteria were a bloody miracle 4 billion years ago, we still got the reptile mammal transition now. So it is purely a misnomer on this. I also, it'd be fun to separate out how many of the people being quote mined are actually young Earth creationists or not. Because I think Matt Powell is probably scavenging across fields a lot. He's, of course, a Hovindista and an nincompoop, which we know directly. And this is just a clinical description. We know that he relies secondarily on sources that not only did he not try to find out if the quote was correct, as Jackson Wheat found out about that.
I need to hurry up and go.
Is that literally...
I need to interrupt real quick. Sorry, RJ, but I have Kent Hovind calling me. I just got off with an actual prank call, and I have to say this is fun. I have a dead fiance who died 6 hours ago due to a drunk driver, and I am in contact with him and a Christian counselor trying to bring me to the Lord.
You're prank calling him, aren't you?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
So I got to go. They're calling me, so I will be back later.
Make sure you record. Make sure you record. All righty.
It's being recorded as it occurs.
Nice.
Fun begin.
All right. Very good. Let us see here. Jared, you have something to add?
Does anyone happen to know where the hell they're getting this bullshit?
Out of their ass?
I would suspect he's not seated. How's that?
Yeah, well, because here's the thing is, how many times do we have to recognize a quote that is just grossly misrepresented? All I can say is, pig, hang him out to dry.
Indeed.
I agree.
All right. And, Brooke, you have some more?
Yeah, it's actually a question for RJ. I mean, he brought up the reptile mammal transition. I mean, how does he know so much about it? He acts like he wrote a book or something on the topic.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. And I can guarantee you Kent won't know about it, as I demonstrated in my debate. The important thing about that, where did he get his stuff from? The vast majority of anti-evolutionists are parasitical pseudo-scholars. They copy other people's arguments. And Kent Hovind is a copyist. Very little of anything he spews or Matt Powell will be spewing will be original material that they came up on their own little devices. They are bottom feeders. And once you recognize that, then it's a matter of hunting around what quote mine. Sometimes you can even tell, as I did with his Harun Yaya, that you can discover by the specific version of the quote, how it's cited, what page numbers are mentioned or not. Sometimes you can actually identify the quote mine they're getting it from.
All righty. Well, you know, we should. We'll save it for another one. You know, we should have asked about. we should have asked about the canopy.
Hovind theory.
Yes, the Hovind theory.
Which isn't even his theory. Again, he's copied it. You're probably too old to remember the guy that came up with it in the 1960s. This is an old thing.
All right. Well, on that note, maybe we should hear some more of this silliness. All right, here we go. Moving on.
Have somebody say that something must be true. Well, why? Or else what? The or else is, if that's not true, then there must be a God, there must be a moral law, there must be a final authority.
Okay.
Drink!
Brooke, what do you got?
Moral law. Evolution doesn't deal with that. Creation. You're now using a false dichotomy of evolution. If evolution was disproved this second, one, someone would have a freaking Nobel Prize. And I mean, congrats for, revolutionizing science, whoever does that, which you won't, but if they did, they would do that. And by doing that, guess what? That still has no bearing on God. I mean, heck, Buddha, the great God, told me he ordered out the entire universe. That's why we have the cosmic winds.
There you
Now,
go.
therefore, you have to believe it, because if it's not true, it's because that is now true. Because remember, evolution never happened.
Of course. Don't you just
But
love?
somehow I still think they're gonna believe what I say there.
Don't y'all just love it when Brooke talks about something she's really passionate about?
You never tell, though.
Buddha, hey, he's talking history and religion. Those are mine. If he gets into design, we get the trifecta. You might have to boot me
Keep your Kent Hovind bingo cards handy, kids.
Hashtag Bootbrook. Okay. All right. Let's see. Tornado, what have you to add to this fun?
I was gonna say also appeal to the consequences. Because he's saying if this isn't true, then this must happen. This must happen. This must happen.
Yeah, we've heard that before.
The appeal to consequences, the false dichotomy, and all sorts of things like that. Oh, and can we throw in their circular reasoning? Because he's basically saying, I think some of them are trying to use the Bible to prove the Bible.
Indeed. All right. And
that's what I think.
Okay. And Jared, what do you have?
Can we throw in a partridge in a pear tree while we're at it?
Partridge in a pear.
Oh my gosh. Don't let me get my keyboard out.
All right.
By the way, if you want more wonderfully timed seasonal jokes like this, donate to the link in the description.
There you go. All righty.
We're supposed to actually do jokes? Oh, crap. That means I have to try and be funny.
No. Don't worry. Don't worry. Brooke, don't worry. I'm going to play this video. It's the best joke ever.
Yeah, for those who are dumb enough to click on the link and watch it.
Yeah, that would be us. Anyway, all right.
All right.
Moving on, I guess. Here we go.
Tornado, put your hand down.
Right.
Here we go. Moving on.
And if there's a final authority, that means that he must have to answer to somebody. So it just seems like a cheap cop-out to say that something must be true or else. It's like, well, what's the or else? The or else is that you have to answer to somebody, and that somebody's bigger than you.
He was the co-founder of evolution.
Hold on, I have a question on that.
Okay.
That's Gillum, one of Matt Powell's little peons.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the same insanity as Powell is. Was he saying that it's a cop-out to say or else you have to believe in God, or else it's God? So he's discrediting his own argument? Or am I misunderstanding
No,
what he's
I
saying?
think what he's saying, it's the old, we don't want to submit to a supreme authority, so therefore, I think that's what he was saying. I believe.
Okay. And last lady, I have to call you on something. You told Tornado to put his hand down. I'm the future teacher here. I'm the one who's supposed to be doing that.
All righty.
Or Mel, because she's the other teacher.
Yeah, the actual teacher right now. All right. Moving on. Here we go.
Ernst Haeckel and Charles Darwin were some of the most biased scientists on the face of the planet.
Drink.
Yes, they're
Do we have just a flat out lie?
biased. Well, we put it politely and add that to the just plain wrong.
Yeah.
Although, admittedly, they were biased by all that evidence. So.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I find it interesting that not a single Kent Hovind video addresses like Andrew Wakefield and the anti-vaxxer movement. I'm like, that's incredibly biased and wrong. None of them ever address that. They're like, hey, we're not worried about anti-vaxxers. We're just worried about creationists that are clearly wrecking the world.
Yeah.
I can answer that. I know the reason why.
Okay.
Pick me.
Go ahead.
I think it was Mrs. Hovind 2.0 before he got rid of her. Wasn't she at one of those anti-vaxxer rallies that we did a movie night on?
I think so.
Oh, I think so.
I think so. Yes.
So
okay.
That is why he actually is. So I would say for me, because they were together at the time when this happened, he's probably an anti-vaxxer. And just going off of that, if I'm wrong, I'll fully admit I'm wrong, but I'm thinking he might be. It wouldn't surprise me.
Or at least tolerant of that group, if not a card-carrying member and all that. All right.
So yeah, that's why.
That makes sense. All right, RJ, what have you got?
Oh gosh, it's annoying when people say about, oh, he's biased, he's a terrible scientist. Bull pucky. Darwin was one of the most meticulous, careful, bend over his backward to make everything rigorous and careful. It's one of the reasons why when Origin of Species came out, it blew everybody away because Darwin had such a spectacular reputation as a careful and meticulous scientist. And virtually every field, biologist and zoologist that bumps into areas that Darwin did work on is just gobsmacked at how complex and intricate his work was, how careful he was with the data field. His work on barnacles, literally 150 years later, is still one of the benchmarks in the field. So it is bearing false witness, Matt Powell, you idiot, you ignoramus, you poltroon, you ball-pated bungerfump.
Such language. Such language.
With RJ, I love it.
I'm blushing over here from all this harshness.
Yes, indeed. Yo, this is them fighting words to take on Mr. old Chucky Darwin, because the man was a superb scientist.
I do have one point to make, and then I have a correction on RJ to make. I know RJ. It's something.
I don't know what to say.
It's a theology point.
Go ahead.
But I don't know, RJ. You done your hand still up?
Oh, more?
Oh, sorry. I'll put it down.
Good, bro.
Okay, I didn't know if you had more. I was doing.
No.
Okay. First off, they accuse Darwin of being biased, even though he wasn't. Yet they fully admit they're biased. Do they not see the hypocrisy there?
No.
I
they do, because
think
they're
not.
two things. Yeah.
They're
presuppositionalists.
The minor correction on RJ is he mentioned bearing false witness. Bearing false witness only really applied in like a court case. It was basically don't commit perjury. It would be more accurate. Because at the time it was, since you really didn't have evidence, it was mostly done on testimony. If you found to have perjured and someone was convicted on that perjury, you then face the same crime.
Yeah, let's get him into a court.
That's the only correction I have, and it's a lot of people make that mistake. It's just one that I know from studying theology. So.
Okay, I don't think I've ever heard RJ corrected before. That's
it was
the champagne corks.
I was.
Wait a minute.
It was a knowledge base I have, and I'm happy to use it.
All right, I got to go outside and see if the moon is still in orbit.
End of the world.
All right.
Yeah, like I said, I was like, oh, I know this. I know something that RJ doesn't. Wow, I feel odd.
Lovely. All right.
Enjoy this moment of splendor, young man.
It's not going to come around very often. All right. Anyway, all right. Well, we better. Ooh, look at the time already. We better get moving. Yeah, we better get moving. All right, moving on.
Such ominous
Ernst Haeckel
music.
was a contemporary of Charles Darwin, and Ernst Haeckel loved the idea of evolution, and so much that he decided to fake some evidence. He was determined to help.
Okay,
we
who
just had the man on the phone. Scientists are fraud.
Who didn't see that coming? All right, let's see who we got. I didn't see that. Let's start with Jared. Jared, what do you got?
Holy fucking hell. Are you capable of telling the truth ever?
No.
I was worried about my language. What Jared?
Jeez.
So, you know, one quick way to piss me off is to be an outright, abject, freaking liar, which every time I hear this dirtbag, hang on. I want to refer to him appropriately. So, you know what? Go to the next person and come back to me while I look up something on our Raw's channel.
We'll come back. All right.
Look, I think you could give him the information.
Oh, wait. Nope. I found it.
Okay, go ahead.
So, prisoner 06452-017, are you capable of not pissing off your own God if it does exist? Because if I remember correctly from your texts, lying is one of the things that Jesus truly, truly abhorred. So why do you continue to do it in every attempt at an intellectual comment you make?
I got my hands up.
Damn good question. All right. Let us see.
I got my hands up.
Oh, okay. Yes, you certainly seem to. Let's see. All right, Tornado, what do you got?
Kent, everything that comes out of your mouth is a frickin' lie. This is the same person who says, render unto this, that he is Kent Hovind is the kind. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Inmate 0645-2-017 is the kind of person who claimed that the Bible did not say render unto the feds that which is Caesar's, therefore he did not have to pay taxes. However, the actual phrasing of it is render unto the Lord that which is the Lord's, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. In other words, pay your fucking taxes.
Oh my. All right, agreed. Let's see. RJ, what do you got?
Oh, golly gee, this is an area of which I am fairly familiar. For those of you who aren't aware of it, Haeckel had a particularly oddball idea that living organisms recapitulated the ancestral adult forms of their ancestors in the course of development, which he was totally wrong on, and is constantly noted that he's totally wrong on in every textbook that brings him up, even ones that would be putting up his illustration. He had a famous, relatively basic illustration that was often put up in textbooks, sometimes even to criticize it, which have now been completely replaced by actual photomicrographs of actual developmental biology, which show that he had some ideas that were kind of interesting, but it didn't matter that this particular one was wrong on. The point is, I put some links up, or at least the references to what the articles are in Nature and the biological reviews of the Cambridge Philosophical Society by Michael Richardson, who is a developmental biologist, and Gerhard Cook, who have covered this matter of Haeckel and what degree of frauds he did do and what he didn't do that was fraudulent, that was still legitimate science. And I recommend that people read his work rather than relying upon Mr. Felon Nincompoop.
All righty. And let us see. And Brooke, you had your hand up as well. What do you got?
Yeah, I think I found a good way to describe the honesty of 0645-2017. This is a very good way to do it. If I had a clock for every lie he told and it only moved 1 second, I would install it in my dorm during the summer for a ceiling fan.
Okay.
That'd be a hurricane.
Yeah, indeed. All right.
Yeah. Have you seen how humid and hot it gets here in the summer?
Oh, yeah.
Getting hot in here.
All right.
Next.
Let us, Pig, what have you to add to this?
Oh, what I have to add is not about this video. It's about the prank call I just did with Elfin and the counselor. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna save that, aren't we?
Fuck yeah!
Nice.
20 full minutes.
That's
Group
good.
conference call. Kent Hovind, some random counselor. I convinced both of them.
This is gonna be great. All right, and Peter's got the hand up. Peter, what do you got?
Yeah. So, do you still have the possibility to show a picture? Because I just sent you something in DM on Twitter, and I think this needs to be shown.
Let me take a look here.
We are on Mel's channel.
It is NSFW.
Oh, well, don't show it here for a reason.
Hey Mel, I hope you do not judge me when.
No, it's safe. It's safe. It's safe
Yes,
for work.
absolutely. This is Peter's being good today.
See,
Wait.
I can be.
Go out there and see if the moon is still in orbit.
Yeah.
Can be.
Something very weird. Something very, very wrong here.
Oh, this is Mel. This had to be made, and this had to be made during the show.
Absolutely.
I'm scared.
No. There's no need.
No need to be scared.
All right.
Hey, buddy, round of applause for ScientistMel. Hey, indeed.
Yay, Mel!
I'm sorry, Mel, but I'm gonna take that trophy because I blew it out the fucking water.
All right.
Hold on.
Oscars.
Hold on. Look at what it says. Best live Hovind prank.
And we're live. They just so happen to be live streamed to a unlisted video on YouTube.
I see. All right. Well, that is, I like that, Peter. That's very good. All righty. And let's see. No other hands up. Peter,
How
you have
much
any?
more of the stupid?
Yeah, I need
More than we can possibly cover in the remaining 14 minutes, but we'll try to make as much progress as we
Let's
can.
watch as much as we can,
Yeah.
and then comment at the end.
Now, I've said this before, but we know how that works out. Let's only issue the drink call for the major stupid. Let the minor stupid slip by. And I know there's rarely any minor stupid. I'm aware of that. All right, here we go.
Charles Darwin's book becomes successful by basically flat out lying about evidence and his bias toward wanting the theory to be true. There are some people who want desperately for evolution to be true. Otherwise, there must be a God.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ernst Haeckel went over to Germany and he drew these fake drawings of a
German!
human embryo and a dog embryo to make them look exactly alike. He was convicted of fraud by his own secular university. And the same textbooks that you studied in school and that any public schooler for the past 130 years has studied are from Ernst Haeckel.
So he believes spontaneous.
Okay. Brooke, what do you got?
The point of the textbooks having those pictures, one, also along with them we have better micrographs of them, more detailed, used with more modern equipment. Two, Haeckel only had what equipment he had available, so he worked with that.
Brooke, refer to Aaron Ra's video and be done with it. Aaron Ra did a video on just this.
Yeah, I should have. It's just I knew the answer. Come on, let me have it.
That's fine. Let him have it. Go ahead, Brooke. Let him have it.
That was pretty much it. And three, they're now used just pretty much for reference drawings, not saying this is what they look like.
Indeed. Okay. Well done. And Tornado, what have you to add?
Can we have an ad hominem for Ernst Haeckel?
You know, that one slipped by. I didn't hear that.
Where was that at? I missed
Okay.
He literally said, and every textbook you've ever read has basically been influenced by Ernst Haeckel.
Interesting. And it wouldn't be, the fact that I missed it, I have no doubt that such a thing could very easily occur.
Yeah.
All right. RJ, what have you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to put in here that on this Haeckel matter, we need to put a big black star next to Jonathan Wells, because over in the intelligent design side, he was one of the big leaguers who has been pushing this Haeckel fraud matter. And it's probably that's the group that these creationists are drawing upon 15, 16 second-hand way in the thing. Wells, who is a minister in the Unification Church, a Mooney, and an amiable but foolish chap that I bumped into on occasion. He needs to get some bad points here as well.
Okay. Well, very good. And on that note, let us move on.
This generation had to happen. That is, life had to start from non-living material.
Drink.
Otherwise,
okay, there
with abiogenesis.
Indeed. All right, and here we go. Almost forgot to augment the counter. Very good.
2 more minutes.
Here's more stuff.
there would have to be a creator to create it. I would agree. There was a creator. I happen to know him personally.
Hang out.
Yeah, the voices in my head tell me so.
I can't.
Wait.
I can't cope anymore.
Wait. Didn't you guys know? I mean, God has a huge drinking problem. I saw it in a webtoon, and Kent is his drinking buddy.
Mel, are you okay? Because I just had 20 minutes on a one-on-one with Kent and a counselor, and I don't know if I can go back.
She's lovely. All right.
I just sat there. I the best way to engage people like this, like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think.
Well, I didn't even have to do that. I just so much scripture, so much, I shouldn't be telling you this now through the counselor, but you're going to have to end up going through this, and you're going to have to forgive this individual. But first, you need to go through the steps. Like he told me, I shouldn't tell you this now, but like 4 different times.
Right.
See, I don't know. Mine's a bit different than yours.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's
Like,
different
I'm going
intent.
balls, like, I'm sorry, but if any of you judge me for this, don't.
Reminder: this is a fundraiser for Booleanator. Please donate to GoFundMe, and there's PayPal.me/Booleanator. So
Bring the money.
yeah.
Oh
Nacho's
yeah.
been so
There's
quiet.
that nacho witness.
Indeed.
So please do donate. It's his prevention for homelessness. We don't want him to be homeless. We want to help him pay his bills until he gets back on his feet. So that's what this whole 12-hour live stream is about. So.
Indeed.
And from here, play
And
the
now,
video.
and now I remember a question you should have asked Hovind. If a man has a personal relationship with Jesus, isn't that homosexuality?
All right, you. RJ, you have,
I'm just asking.
RJ, you have something to add?
Depends on who's if he lets Jesus enter him.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All right.
That's the only cheeky joke you're getting out of me. Moving on.
All right.
All right, hit the play button.
Hold
Sorry,
on.
let's do this.
RJ, you have something to add?
Yeah, regarding Kent Hovind being the drinking buddy of God in the hereafter, just the image came to mind of Jehovah and Zeus and Buddha walk into a bar with Kent Hovind, ...
Okay. All right. More stuff. Moving on. Here we go.
It wasn't like they just went into the laboratory and just came to the conclusion that there's no God. No, they set out to prove that there is no God.
Oh gosh. No, let's finish it. Let's finish it.
All right. You know what? We know about that.
Finish the video.
Let him say it first.
Yeah. And it's an old argument. Let it go. Here we go. Moving on.
They set out with a presupposition saying all our scientific claims are going to be without God. You brought up Charles Darwin, and you hold to Charles Darwin. But
I agree with most of what I read, yes.
Okay. So Charles Darwin's book, The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, you ever heard of it?
Drink, asked and answered.
Okay.
No.
The other title of the book, and it's the original title of that book.
Okay.
The Preservation of Favored
Yep.
Races.
I have one
in the
point to
Struggle
make
for
real
Life.
quick.
Okay.
That's the title of
Hold
his
on.
book.
Here we go. All right, Brooke, what do you got?
I don't know if this was covered earlier, but it's not the other title of the book. The full title is, the main title is The Origin of Species. The subtitle, more on that, is the Preservation of Life and Favored Race, or whatever the little writing is.
Yeah.
But the title is, it's not an original title. It's part of the title. It's like a subtitle. It's like not the main title, but like the secondary that breaks it down and gives you more of a narrative.
Indeed, and no amount of trying to confuse the issue of what the rest of the title means is going to change anything. So
it's fallacious.
Indeed. RJ, what do you got?
Once again, our little creationists are bearing false witness because it is historically incorrect that the founders of evolution and the people who were accepting evolution in its early times were out to get rid of God. Asa Gray, who was a very devout person and one of the earliest converts to it, it was precisely because evolution worked. It made sense. Suddenly his plant biology made way better sense. This was not about religion. It obviously had religious implications, just as modern creationism has stupid implications.
Quite true. Quite true. The science was done. Yeah, the science was done for the science, and if there were religious implications, well, that is for religion to deal with, and they will have to adjust. So, on that note, Peter, what do you got?
Yeah, I have a general appeal. Can someone contact a raging atheist? Because I've watched this documentary. This guy is a poster boy for creationism, not for atheism. Someone should educate him a little. Because he really made me mad.
For atheism. Oh God, let's go ahead and play the rest of this video, please. For the love of God, I've been dying here.
All right, here's more stuff.
36 hours, you forget.
The strongest survive. Natural selection favors certain race. The human race was the strongest of the hominids. That's proven. We destroyed them.
Yeah.
There we go. Probably an asked and answered when we talked evolution.
No, no, there is something to actually say for this one.
Yes, there is.
What we are as a humanoid species was not the strongest. Neanderthals were far stronger than we were.
Ever tried to take on a gorilla?
Yeah. Even the smaller, no, not just gorillas. They're much stronger.
Try a chimpanzee.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. And here's some more of this.
When we came in contact with them, because Neanderthals came out of Africa 20,000 years before we did. They weren't allowed to continue to evolve, and we absolutely destroyed them. Wiped them off.
Okay.
Assimilated.
Was resistance futile?
They weren't allowed to continue.
All right. All right, Tornado. What do you have anything additional?
Well, aside from the whole, they weren't allowed to. No, they just eventually ended up disappearing. We could not allow them to continue breeding. I'm not sure what exactly happened.
We made a law.
Perhaps RJ has something to say about this.
Oddly enough, he's got the hand up as well.
Delighted to have some things to say about it.
Say some things.
Yeah, some things. That the Neanderthals, he's barely got the chronology kind of sort of there, but in fact the Neanderthals went along for literally hundreds of thousands of years doing just fine and dandy, and then finally as climate change and other things kicked in, eventually we came along. But the argument is that the evidence does not support the idea that we bumped into Neanderthals much at all. They kind of checked out quite independently of us. I just wanted to also bring up, how many in the audience have the foggiest clue who Sir Arthur Keith was? Or when he
I'm
was
looking
writing.
that up right now.
This thing dates from the 1930s. He was an early 20th century guy. Please download my Planet of the Apes chapter from Tip. I go into all of this background and these stupid authority quotes and the stuff that gets trawled around in the creationism thing, so you can find out who the players are on your creationism bingo card.
Yeah, and speaking of Keith, I'm looking here in the Phone of All Knowledge.
Known as Google?
Yeah, known as Wikipedia. And we have the evolution is unproved and unprovable. We believe it only because the alternative is special creation, and that is unthinkable. That is listed as a spurious quotation. In other words, he didn't say it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of quote mining from him. He was one of the single species guy. I went into a lot of the background of this stuff. This show is demonstrating in great explicitness why creationism has its head up its ass, because people put up cute images and they have talking heads that are unreliable. They have stuff they've gleaned from quote mines. They've never bothered to give any historical context. They don't try to find out what the actual facts are. They just repeat the same trope. There is no difference methodologically between this and a Dubé flat earther and an anti-vaxxer and a Holocaust denier and any of these other ones. They're all methodologically preposterous and are to be spat upon, and little children and dogs should be growling at them in the street because they are just
Or we could let Tornado space them. All right.
Hey,
and as
I've gotten better.
Yes, you have.
I'll just stick them in Tornado Alley.
And as it seems to be, as we are at the top of the hour, it is 9 o'clock. Let us, Brooke had the hand up. Let us see what Brooke has to add, and we'll wrap it up there. Brooke, what do you got?
I don't remember. It was. I don't remember.
You're just doing that so we stay on time. Thanks.
No,
You're okay.
I don't remember.
You're okay.
It was something with the Neanderthals being, stopped evolving. No, animals are always evolving. Theoretically, we all evolved from our freaking parents, if you really want to go down that right, because you're only looking at a 2-generation snapshot and all. Because I guarantee your alleles change frequency between your parents and you. And all evolution is it changes in low frequencies over any genetic population over any given period of time.
Indeed.
So, yeah, they kept evolving. That was it.
Okay. Well, very good. I'm glad you remembered. That's cool. And as we have reached the allotted time, why don't we wrap it up there? And
awesome.
That was pretty. Here's what. Here, I will. You know what? I will play the a brief movie night closing, and then Mel, I will turn it over to you.
Yay! This has been fun. Thank you so much to Look a Pig and Booleanator and Sci. You guys helped plan all this and get this all together. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, it's been.
I started the show. Can I end it?
It's been great and an honor to be involved. So all right, let me close my segment, and then I will pass it over to you, Mel, to do as you wish. Here we go. Yay. Good night, all. Thanks for listening.
Night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Au revoir.
Alrighty. Thanks for having me, Mel. Over to you.
Thanks for being here, and thank you so much for everybody who was involved. Look a Pig, Booleanator, SciStrike. You guys, you've helped me out tremendously with putting this all together. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please feel free to donate to GoFundMe.com/David's Homelessness Prevention. So he contributes a lot to the different skeptic YouTubers in the community. So if you can give a little bit, that's quite helpful, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Like, share, subscribe to not only SciStrike and Look a Pig and myself and all of the other creators, Andy, Nacha, Gonna Go For It, Brooke. Thank you so much for being here. This has been amazing.
All right. Well, again, thank you for having me. It has been an honor.
Is it time?
All right, shall we bring it to a close?
Yes.
All right. Good night, all. Thanks for joining us.
Night, everyone.
Night,
Thanks
everyone.
a lot, Truce. See you on the other